Hey everyone, Navik here. This is my review of Ultimate Universe 1 year in, a special one shot made to kind of I want to say celebrate the Ultimate Universe because it's more just kind of giving you a feel of how this universe is doing 1 year after the publication of Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1 and all the books that came out after it. It as well as kind of telling two different stories. One is a short prelude to the new Ultimate Wolverine comic coming out next month by Chris Condon and drawn by Alessandro Cappuccio. Oh, while the larger story stars Nick Fury, who's being written by, of course, being written by the Ultimate Scribe Dennis Camp and drawn by Jonas Scarf. Scaharfer, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his last name. And yeah, this is and it does answer an interesting question because Nick Fury, obviously, no matter what universe, he plays a big role. So the fact that we're only seeing him now shows that he was definitely doing more behind the scenes stuff. Uh, and and yeah, fitting for a story based on Nick Fury, the art by Mr. Scoff does feel kind of reminiscent of Jim Steranko's artwork for the classic Strange Tale series, where Nick Fury had most of his ongoing solo adventures. It definitely gives off a feel of kind of a bit of an old Silver Age feel, but obviously with some more modern techniques and stuff. And yeah, this issue is basically. I will say this: I'm not quite a fan of Scott's artwork. I think it looks a bit too. I think maybe it's just the shading or the pencils, but it kind of looks a bit too rough at places for me. But hey, I will say at least it looks unique. If nothing, I want to say I am consistent about at least praising artwork for being unique and being able to tell. I won't be confusing his artwork for anyone else's. And yeah, this issue basically, like the issues of the Ultimates, it focuses on the point of view of a singular character. In this case, Nick Fury, and we do see that he's in charge of the Agents of Hand, which are basically Shield in this universe. They're basically the military espionage arm of the Maker's Council. And yeah, this issue just keeps reinforcing the messed up rule of the council, including one particular note is Emmanuel DaCosta using Sunspot as a living battery, which definitely kind of sucks for me. Sunspot's one of my favorite mutant characters of the X-Men, and though mostly for a stint on New Avengers. So yeah, really hoping the Ultimates free my boy. And yeah, Camp is really effective at getting you into the headspace of Nick Fury because his narration basically cues you on the kind of person he is. He constantly talks about how he took a bullet to the head decades ago and he thinks that killed his morality. And how he's kept telling himself for decades that he's doing all this evil stuff for the greater good. And he has done a lot of evil stuff up as we see near the end. And he basically chased after some Silver Age heroes like Devil Dinosaur, 3D Man, and in the original Arakko Vision, he killed Mantis in this universe, or killed the Inhumans, and even the Power Pack, and he's like Jesus. Listen, he's the one who gave Hank Pym him the brain damage that basically makes it so he's no longer a super genius. And yeah, aside from reinforcing and what we know about the council already, and we also see that the Hulk is kind of a bit more bloodthirsty after his fight with the Ultimates. It's yeah, Nick Fury tries to basically he go out with a bang, saying that he's willing to make the ultimate sacrifice now. Ow. But here's where the cruel twist of the issue comes in. And because as it turns out, Nick Fury has done this before. Or he's tried to kill the council several times. They mentioned that he tried with an exploding island. Last time was a hyper plague with an infected handshake. And they even mentioned stuff that he's been narrating about in the issue, like the bullet to his brain and his conscience growing back, etc. And Emmanuel even says that he hosts viewing parties of Nick Fury's demise. And yeah, as we learn, the twist of the issue is that Nick Fury, who we've been following, he is just the latest in a line of Nick Fury life model decoys. Basically, robot duplicates who think they're Nick Fury. And yeah, he's done this before. And some of the council kind of just keep him around and to just laugh at him. To basically, they're somewhat amused by his attempts to betray them. Some of them like have objections to Nick Fury constantly doing this, but like I said, these guys are like sadistic fuckers who just like to keep him around and entertain it. And I'll say this, I really do hope that the Ultimates do end up eventually saving like at least one version of Nick Fury. And this issue does reinforce, does make you, the reader, kind of just want to see the council take it down more. So yeah, that's about where the main story ends. Ends a bit of a wider, ends kind of getting you into, like, again, making you feel really bad about Nick Fury in the span of just one issue. And the shorter story is of course where Chris Condon, on from That Texas Blood, starts taking over writing. And we learn a bit more about the mutant situation in this universe, aside from the stuff that we've been learning in Ultimate X-Men. And mainly that the Rasputins are kind of that the Eurasian Republic is kind of the centralized home to mutant kind, and the Makers signed a deal with the Rasputins basically to have them acting as kind of like the controlling arm of the mutants. And the narration in this part is done by Dr. Alona Prosovich, and she's basically the Dr. Cordelius of the Ultimate Universe, as she's the one who ended up turning Logan into the Winter Soldier. And yes, we do know that it's Logan, because in her narration she says they called him Logan once, the specimen, no more. He is ours, our Winter Soldier. This does raise the question of whose skeleton that was in the Ultimate Universe Free Comic Book Day one-shot that came out a few months ago, but I got the feeling that either Dennis Camp or Chris Condon's going to explain it. And I will say this, the grittiness and the dark atmosphere from That Texas Blood, you can definitely feel that being used in the Ultimate Wolverine preview. And seriously, short aside, my recommendation, go read That Texas Blood. It's amazing. And yeah, this isn't really a story, but again, it's more just a preview of Ultimate Wolverine, or Ultimate Winter Soldier, whoever you want to call him. But I'm definitely excited to check him out. And I think it'll be an interesting read, and of course, I'm going to be covering Ultimate Wolverine on the channel. So yeah, that's Ultimate Universe 1 year in, and I kind of personally liked it. I don't think it's necessary reading to follow what's going on in the Ultimate Universe. It just gives you kind of a more bigger picture, and of course, it answers the big question about what Nick Fury was doing, because yeah, Nick Fury's a big part in whatever universe he's in. And so yeah, again, maybe because of that, and because I'm not personally into Johann Scaffis's art, that honestly, it's not, like I said, it's not recommended reading, but just a nice little bonus. And also, the Ultimate Wolverine segment, it is more of a preview than anything else. So I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. And I hope I've said all I wanted to about it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry I came up a bit late this week. I was doing some other stuff that came up IRL. But glad you guys tuned in. And until next time, have a great day.